Hello everyone. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about credibility when you analyse your sources. So what you've been asked to do is to comment on how believable and why you would trust a source of information. So when you do this, you should be looking at a little checklist in your head. Who's written the information? What have they written? When did they write it? And where did this information come from? Other things you should be looking at is, can the information be trusted and can you articulate why? Is it factual, not opinion based? The date, the currency of the information, and the origin of the source. So we're going to do one together just so you can get the idea of how to do this. So I've found an article at the moment which is from the EBSCO database, and it's an article that deals with the connection between vaccinations and autism. So when I'm first looking at this article, there's a few things that stand out. Number one, I've got the author's name here. Number two, this author has interviewed this person, Alison Singer. And so a lot of this article is dealing with what this woman, Alison Singer, says. Over on the left-hand side, we've got the name of where this article comes from. So it's coming from a journal called Nature. We've also got the date of when it was published. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to look at is who. So who has written this information? So that's clear. Meredith Wadman has written this information. So I'm going to now do a search for this person and see what qualifications this person has. And I'm going to make a judgment about why I would trust what this person has written. So I've just taken her name and I've put it into a Google search engine along with the word, I've got Meredith Wadman, Nature. Okay, and the first thing that comes up is a little bit of a summary about this person and her experience. So she's now working for Science, but she used to work for a journal called Nature. She's had lots of writing experience, so I quickly skim read this. She's been writing for 20 years in various publications. She's written books. She's written one specifically about vaccines, which sounds credible. She's got some university qualifications in the science and medical fields, and she's also got some qualifications in journalism. So on the surface, I would think that she's very qualified, and I would probably think that she's quite credible, and I might believe what she's written. Okay, so the next thing is the what. What has she written about? So I'm going to have a quick look through here, and I've already read this article, and it deals a lot with an interview with this person here, Alison Singer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a search for this person and find out a bit about her background, so to make a decision about whether I should believe what this person is saying or not. So once again, I'm going to take that person's name and I'm going to put it into a Google search engine. And I've actually found this site here. When I searched this person's name together with the word autism, it came up with this page. And I can see now that she's on the board of directors for this organisation, Autism Science. And when I read a bit about her, I can see that she has a child with autism, she's got a brother with autism, she's serving on some fairly high-level boards. Does she have any official qualifications in science or in the medical field? No, she has been to university, but her qualifications are in economics and business. So there's a question there about how qualified she is to make comments about science and autism. Definitely she's got some experience on a first-hand level, but does that make her qualified to make comments about the science connection between autism and vaccinations? I'm yet to be convinced. All right, let's go back. Who, what, and then we've got when. Well, we've got 2011 here. We have got, there's a little bit of a question there about how current this information is, because scientific evidence is changing all the time. That's quite a few years old, this article. Should I be using it? I'm yet to be convinced about that either. So it is a little bit old. Where does this come from? Okay, now lots of students make a statement here which says, where does it come from? Well, it comes from EBSCO. That's not correct. Where it's coming from is a journal article called Nature. Remember, EBSCO is just the database which is collecting all this information together. This article comes from a journal article called Nature, so that is what I need to be checking out next. How credible is this journal article? Is it really credible, or is it more popular science? I need to have a look. So I'm going to do a search for this journal article, and when I check on this, I can read about the journal article itself, or the journal, and it comes from, it's been around for a long time. It's been going since 1869, which is a very long time. The company that publishes this magazine also publishes other very credible magazines. This one here, Scientific America, is a really credible magazine. So I'm probably fairly satisfied about the actual journal itself. Okay, so to summarise, I have checked out the who has written it. I've checked out the what by checking out this person here. I've checked out the when, the date, and I've checked out the where it comes from. I've checked out the Nature magazine. Then I have to make, as a researcher, an on-balance decision about whether I'm going to use this or not. And if I do decide to use it, when I analyse this and complete my analysis template, I'm going to be making some comments about how I've checked out the author, the person who's being interviewed, the journal article, and the date. So that's what you need to do when you complete your analysis.